them. They had Anivia. They could stall out the play as long as possible. That ultimate catching across most of WE, but really not doing a great deal of damage currently. He has only got that Trinity Force on there at the moment. Has picked up the pick. Wants to probably go for Last Whisper possibly off the back of that one. CLGeu really aware of the fact that WE trying to set up for this Baron. They're going to try and steal out the blue buff. See the positioning. CLGeu again dodging this Rupture. And they are going to turn this instead and push the top tower.
And that ultimate by Ezreal was actually because they had no vision on the Baron. They were worried that they were going to push it down, and really WE dictating heavily to CLG right now. They need to clear out a few more wards, then they can really start forcing the Baron, because CLG will have to go in and check it. The wards, look at all the wards that WE has in this area. This is what we saw from TPA when they played Blitzcrank. They put a sea of wards around the area, hoping that when CLG comes to scout, they can get a pull on a priority target over wall. There's that one ward they still need to clear out, which they're getting right now, and from here, CLG's in a big amount of trouble. They have to initiate a perfect team fight, but it's so difficult since they don't have vision and World Elite can see everything.
Yeah, and it's everything for Malphite. Wicked really wants to land that perfect ultimate. He's been trying to get it, and they've just positioned themselves so well. He landed a really good ultimate in the last fight, but unfortunately they didn't have the damage to back it up. Again, they're just catching their position.
This is the pull they need.
They're going to get a grab. Oh, that would have been crap where they tried to go for. The Rupture managed to land. They have a little bit of a blind vision around the side there. Are they going to try and fight them in the jungle? I'm not sure that's the ideal position. That Orianna ultimate could be deadly in the position they're in right now. And you can see FCZF, he's just like, yeah, go on, pull me. I'm initiate on me, do whatever you want. I have this mana shield and I am tanky, and I'm just going to allow all the damage in the background. He's effectively a tank. He's not just a support, he's a tank in there. Messiah using that speed up, and CLG for that little bit of a merry dance have managed themselves to get themselves a clear lane.
And honestly, WE is displaying a level of patience that really is only rivaled by CLGeu in these late game fights. Even though they have a 5,000 gold advantage and seemingly entire map control, they're not brute forcing any of these fights. They're not just trying to run in. They're waiting until they get an extremely advantageous one. They will only want to start a fight on a blitz pull, or if CLGeu expends cooldowns to get into them. They're not going to grant a free team fight for CLG. They're going to make them work for it. And the longer it goes, the higher the chance that they get a pick with that blitz hook and win a team fight 4v5.
Yeah, the goal difference there, you can see really where it's stacking out. Then CLGeu with a 2,000 gold advantage over Yellow Pete at the moment. That's a big difference for you two AD carries. That is a major item, and you can see he's got that Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, and Quicksilver Sash compared to just that Trinity Force for Yellow Pete. Definitely falling behind. And could we say Ezreal's stats again just collapse in? Oh, are they going to try and collapse in here? If we could just get the camera up a little bit more, we might be able to see the action. It is Frog, and he got hooked in, he got destroyed. There's the Malphite ultimate. They do get the ultimate across the entire of Crepo. Frog should be able to pick up one kill off the back of this one. CLGeu taking incredibly low. Yellow Pete trying to collapse onto him. Now he's got Chow Mei diving on. Clear up as well. They're collapsing on Yellow Pete. Yellow Pete's going to get dropped. He cannot pick up any kills off the back of that. He was just manhandled throughout that. Snoopy wants to finish him off. They can't get anything from it. And after a perfect Malphite ultimate there, in amongst Froggens, I cannot believe CLGeu came on top of that one. They just closed down. Yellow Pete tried desperately to get onto CLGeu, but they just couldn't do the damage. He just dashed away and said, right, clear up, defend me.
Such a close fight there. Pulling in Froggen could have been disastrous because he was sitting in them with the file, spamming the wall, spamming the Qs, and it was just a matter of everyone on WE pulling back at just the right moment. By the end of that fight, they were all at less than 1/3 health. Now their life's healing up. It's a 4-man Baron. They're tanking the damage, passing it off very well. They're going to get this Baron, and that's so many team fights in a row that they've squeaked ahead of, but then taken a huge objective afterwards. Before it was towers, now it's Baron. This is potentially a stranglehold for World Elite.
So we've got a replay of that one with the player audio. Let's just see how crazy they get.
Chris. Orianna, Chris. Back out, all up. I'm all up. All up, first, all up. I'm running. Whatever.
Fuck, I was under the impression.
I got out.
Yeah, you jumped in and suicided.
I did, but...
Well, as you can see right there, Froggen really making the calls there. He wanted to get CLGeu, but they couldn't do it. They switched to Olaf, they couldn't do that. Switched to Maokai, couldn't do that. They just didn't have the damage left to really catch all that position.
One thing CLG does somewhat better than other teams is actually call targets in team fights, which oftentimes does very well, but with that WE was able, when they got called as a target, they realized the focus and they would disengage, and it was allowing them to just all sit around fairly low. The focus overall wasn't quite able to close things out. A lot of that just happened to be all of CLG's crowd control was bursted right away. So later on in the fight, when they wanted to focus, it allowed WE to disengage those fights. And that was really close. CLG, their team fighting is some of the best in the world. And even though they are behind, that fight was razor close for them coming out ahead. Now with the Baron for WE, they have to be even better and catch WE even more by surprise.
Yeah, and of course that gold lead was extended. WE picking up the Dragon while we looked at that replay. You can see it's 8k gold difference now. WE definitely with a huge, huge advantage. But, you know, those super minions, they've been pushing down that mid lane, but not really being used that much. And now the inhibitors respawned. You can see that, well, CLG would have had a good chunk of farm off that. Snoopy, you can see, looks like he's got 6 feasts on him there. He's very much at full level. There's 5 feasts, so he just needs one more. So he's going to be at full strength when we come around to this next team fight. However, that Baron, let's have a quick look how long that Baron's got left on them. If we can, it looks like it's, yeah, it's got full 2 minutes on this one. So WE have a long stretch in this one.
WE really wants to take this inhibitor. There's not much CLG can do to stop them. They're afraid of the blitz pull. They're afraid of the zone. Fighting a team with a Baron and a huge gold advantage can be disastrous. That's the second time that inhibitor's fallen. CLG really needing to turtle. When the second inhibitor goes down, it becomes exponentially more difficult for them to hold off, especially these outer turrets. I'm guessing they're going to have to hold off this one. Otherwise, Blitz or Maokai could come around the back and really corner them into a team fight.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous situation for them, and really, Wicked needs the entire team grouped up, and this would not be a group situation. Blitzcrank really has been causing problems on FZZF since coming into this team. Definitely seems to have made things tick for them. Messiah also proved himself a problem, but really, the damage was done in the very start. Wicked lost his lane to Chow Mei.
And so much of this from WE has been from the 3 somewhat core members. The 2 new members are Clearlove and FCZF, and what they've really done is just deferred and enabled the solo laners and the AD carries to take over this game. You can even just look from the minion score how much of the farm is directly deferred to those giant carries. 288 for Messiah, 288 for WX, and it's just Graves versus Ezreal, Yellow Pete versus Weezow, just farm-wise, is not even close right now. So much from CLG is just too many priority targets almost at this point, and they really, really have to pull something out of their hats here because it's a struggle to stay alive in this game.
Standing room only here at LA Live. It has been a fantastic tournament throughout the last 3 days, and really we have some absolutely amazing games coming up for you. Of course, it is going to be Taipei Assassins versus Moscow 5. That will be after this one concludes. It is a best of 3, of course, here. And CLGeu at the moment looking in a dangerous, dangerous situation. WE looking to take home this first game. This is the first outing that WE have had. They've sat here for the 3 days, sat very patiently, practiced heavily with IG, I believe. You know, that's the few times I've seen them practicing, it was with IG, their Chinese counterparts, and they've really prepared for this one. CLG, on the other hand, they said, look, it's like cramming for a last-minute exam. You can't learn anything from last-minute practice. You just need to know it beforehand. In which case, they felt comfortable coming into this game. They are looking like they may well go down in this one. How would they turn things around if they do?
A lot of this from WE is about that preparation. It was stopping Wicked from getting Aurelia. It was stopping Froggen from getting Anivia. CLG will have to change up their team comp a little bit in the next game because if this happens and they do fall off, which could still happen differently, we know WE has what it takes to beat CLG, so they do have to switch it up.
So they're going to have to play something different. 36 minutes gone in this game still. A 10,000 goal difference. FZZF sat there with that ward looking to maybe get a hook, start something off. CLG far too experienced to try and fall for those tricks.
This is that stall that CLGeu is trying to pull off right here. If they can stretch it later and later, they will start catching up. Right now they're back behind on gold and experience. When they're turtled like this, they're getting almost as much gold as WE, so percentage-wise, they will be catching up. And the experience, when everyone hits level 18, you'll get even. It's just a matter, that's going to be in many, many minutes. Froggen, the only level 18 member of CLG, whereas WE, 80 carry, and AP mid are both 18. Chow Mei very close behind at 17, so they're reaching their peak experience-wise. So, we've seen it before. 70-minute games that CLGeu can stall out. World Elite, seen those as well. They've done their research. They do have the inhibitor down. That's normally the sticking point that CLG turtles on. Now it's all about number 2. They've lost their Baron. How are they going to close this out?
How are they going to close it out? And if you watched actually the farm in those lanes, you can see that Snoopy was setting everything up, but it was Yellow Pete that was using it. And the shield there for Weezhou, they're just going to try and bait this one out. Weezhou just FZZF stood at the side there, and Yellow Pete again returns to farm everything up here. And missed the CS on that one, that's a little shame. The turret took it, but they are just baiting out. They're going to steal away the blue buff, and they're just holding things down. Baron buff has now run off WE, so CLG quite happy to carry on stalling this one.
And Baron's coming up within the next minute, so you can see WE is just containing CLG in their base. They should be going back and getting a bunch of wards. You can look at FZZF. He has 7 wards in his inventory right now. He's just been back. They're going to do that sea of wards that they did last time, try to get an initiate hook. If they win another fight like they did the last one, which gave them Baron, that'll be the end of the game because they'll just be able to push in and end from there. Very, very difficult for CLG to push in here. If they allow another Baron to go, they're probably going to lose an inhibitor off of that. But they almost have to. If they try to go into the jungle, there's a very good chance they're going to die.
Do they fight for that Baron? That's the question. They are starting to push out now. They realize that the Baron is going to be up in 15 seconds. Dragon is now available as well, and they are starting to follow this creep wave out this time. So CLG starting to become the aggressor. If we could pan the camera up a little bit, you can see that FZZF is off on the distance, just waiting to try and get that hook in there. There is Clear Love up the side. He's just trying to get himself some sort of position. He's got that Oracle on. He's definitely been working down, taking all those wards. He's just off at the side. Crepo's got to be careful. They've not been too fussed about who they actually catch there. Crepo tried to initiate there. It looks like CLG are ready for this fight.
CLG is actually trying to force a fight on their terms once again because that's kind of what they've done all game, but they seem to think that if they do it right this time, they're going to be able to end it out. Really, they need to get onto Weezhou because he's been
there's the stun.
There's the stun. They might be going in.
He just backs off from that one. It was FZZF he caught. Nobody really baited, bro. They've got the hook on Wicked, but he has managed to flash straight out of it. That means the flash and Ultima is not available now for Wicked, but he did not want to get involved in that one. That was not the fight because they've managed to separate Xiaomei. They've gone for Weezhou. That's it. They wanted. FZZF is going to drop instead. They do not know. He flashed away. The Ignite's running on him. They have managed to second round. Weezhou's taking down Crepo, looking across the side. Snoopy's going to get dropped as well. Weezhou takes him down as well. You can see now Messiah's going to close in. The Calphas Ultimate's not going to pick one up. Just FZZF. But WE come out on top. Messiah with the double kill. Weezhou with the double kill. And Yellow Pete, the only man surviving, just backing away. And the ping goes down on the Nexus for WE.
WE, such great execution in that fight. You thought that they had a window when Xiaomei got zoned out by CLGeu and they all converged in the mid lane, but what happened is so many members went away to follow Messiah and they could not touch him. Such good play by everyone on WE. That team communication actually outclassing CLGeu this game, and they're going right down for these inhibitors. They might not actually be able to take the Nexus here. They're very low. The death timers are up. Creepo's alive. They're going to try to just, I don't know how they're going to finish this yet.
Weezhou trying to turn out towards Yellow Pete there. Yellow Pete just trying to force him away as best he can. Crepo's going to come around as well, but the inhibitor has gone down, and once those 2 inhibitors goes down, it becomes incredibly difficult to come back from. Crepo's going to try and set these up for Yellow Pete. Yellow Pete farming out as quick as he can, just trying to defend those turrets, but that's 1 Nexus turret down. They didn't get the second, so they held them off for a little bit longer, sustained the loss, but well, CLG in a desperate situation as WE pick up the next Baron. That's surely the end of CLG.
Well, this is CLG's last-ditch effort. They are all very low, and they're going to be finishing this Baron, but they'll be at low health. So if CLGeu gets another team fight, if they could somehow catch WE, they might be able to get this, and they're going to battle here.
They're going for it. They're going straight in. The Orianna Ultimate destroys them. Weezhou with the collateral damage just obliterating the entire CLG. Xiaomei going very aggressive, but it doesn't matter. He's just trying to bait Froggen and Wicked into a fight here. FZZF's going to surely crap at a hook there. No! Froggen flashes across. That's an incredibly difficult flash to do as well. That's going to be the wall of pain going across, but he's just delaying the inevitable now. The Malphite ultimate, it's not going to be enough. Froggen's going to get dropped. He did just about get his distance going off there, but he's going to get dropped, and Wicked now just a fatal errors from CLG really have cost him in this one. He's trying to delay as much as possible. Yeah, they've realized it. Weezhou is going to get on towards that last final Nexus turret, and it looks like WE are going to take game 1 against CLG in this quarterfinals. Well, what a start to a game, and WE, you see what it means to them. They are so happy with that result, and well played them. They looked phenomenal.
The last team in China, the #1 seed, the first team to qualify here.